Paola on the board first. Paola is the defending champion here, having won 2 times. Rhonda Rajsich, a 4-time winner of the U.S. Open. Paola with the skip. Rajsich back in the box. We are here at the 2012 United States Open Racquetball Championships presented by United Healthcare. Here at the Lifetime Fitness Center, inside the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. Rajsich on the board, a capacity crowd here at the Target Center. Paola Longoria, currently the #1 ranked player in the world. Rhonda Rajsich, the #2 ranked player in the world. Fiddling so, they're here in the finals. Immediately following this match will be the IRT Tour Finals, also pitting the #2 player in the world, Rocky Carson, against the Cane Train, Kane Wasylenchuk, #1 player in the world. Bad skip by the Rhonda Rajsich forehand. Paola 2-1, game 1. Rajsich checking the score. Referee had it at 0-2. The score is 1-2.
Come on, Rhonda!
Rhonda trying to move Paola deep on her forehand, came up short. Paola with the forehand pin shot, 2-1. Longoria with an excellent drive serve to Rajsich's backhand. That is her favorite serve, but she will mix it up with some Z's. Good pass by Rhonda.
1-3.
Longoria back in the service box. Paola is the #1 player in the world and defending U.S. Open champion, as well as the 2008 winner of this event.
Russ, this is a big rivalry. This is a shot.
Paola with another point, 4-1, in the biggest rivalry in the sport today.
Absolutely, Russ. You know, this is a huge rivalry. We've seen these two players play each other now for several years in this position. Last year, Rhonda was not able to take a single game, a single match off of Paola Longoria, who just kind of has Rhonda's number right now. Rhonda, the bigger, stronger, more athletic, if you will. Paola, the better tactician, makes great shots, cool, calm, and collected. This is a power versus control matchup here, and over the past several months, Paola has been the one coming out on top.
And that's correct. Both of these players are clearly the 2 best players in the world. Rhonda Rajsich, #1 player for many years. Paola came along, has taken that title from her. And Paola did finish last season as undefeated, capturing the #1 year-end ranking for the 3rd time and not losing a match since May of 2011.
You know, Russ, it's very funny where professional racquetball currently finds itself with Kane and Rocky, Paola and Rhonda clearly ahead of the class when it comes to the #1 and 2 players in the world. That #1 player spot, Paola and Kane, seems, at least for the past couple years, to just be very, very dominant. And it's just kind of funny. I don't know if there's another sport that's so dynamic from 3 through, you know, the rest of the class, and then 1 and 2 just kind of head and shoulders above everybody else.
That's a good comparison, but I think tennis does have something similar. A few years ago when Roger Federer was on top and Serena Williams was on top, there was definitely a clear gap between the top players and second, third, and then another gap. So it has happened before. Maybe not as drastically as Cain Wasylenchuk not losing in 4 years and Paola Longoria last year having a 1-year undefeated streak.
We're going to be joined in just a moment by IRT Network newcomer this season, Charlie Pratt, who's trying to move in on our broadcasting duties. He actually does a fantastic job. He's got some great insights and can take us through a lot of the technical pieces, especially when it comes to the rules and the reffing.
I hope Charlie doesn't make as many mistakes up here as he does on the court as far as some of the players are concerned. But Charlie is the best referee the IRT Tour has ever had. No disrespect to Jason Thorner, Dave Sable, and Stevie Wonder, who are the past 3 referees.
Give me some credit. I still have a few years left in my career, so.
Now, Charlie is really good at what he does. The referee job is a thankless job because nobody could ever see shots the same if you're on the left side of the court, right side of the court, playing, or a referee. So Charlie does the best he can and does do a great job, actually.
Well, thank you, Russ. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let's get back to this match. Paola with a big lead at 6-1. As the official IR Tour referee, Charlie, have you ever refereed a women's pro match?
I haven't, not a single one. And I was actually just thinking that they're coming to Seattle, and I was thinking maybe I could volunteer or see if I had the schedule open or something. I think it'd be kind of interesting. Just, you know, maybe they give me a little more beef than the men do. Who knows? I don't know.
I doubt that, but I think it would be interesting because I have a feeling they would give you the level of respect that you deserve as being a professional referee. And as we all know, refereeing is an integral part of racquetball, the sport. A lot of players have to referee. It's part of the rules. And having you referee some women's matches might be a nice thing. It might bring up the level of the professionalism of the women's sport, just like the men, because the men, when they get into the quarterfinals, they know they can't really work the referee, as all players do, because nobody thinks they miss a shot.
Yeah.
So, and you know the players really well, and you could kind of tell sometimes by body language as another addition to whether the shot was really good or not.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I have, over the years, definitely picked up on some things. Each player is very different in their own way to referee. And coming into the women's tour, if I were to try to do that, everything would be kind of an even keel, and I'd have to start learning a few things. And
it's like poker. You get to know their tells.
Yeah, exactly. The tells. That's great analogy right there. So how's this match going anyway? I just walked in here.
Well, it's going all Paola Longoria. Ron has been having 4 or 5 unforced errors, and having not beaten Paola in over a year, I think Rhonda felt the pressure first game, but I expected to come back, maybe even this first game, but I expected to come back in game 2. Just like that, an unforced error skip on a fairly routine shot.
Yep. So I guess a question just came in, that wondering if I make more money refereeing or playing the tour, and it's absolutely by far playing the tour. Although the refereeing, especially in my first couple of years, was really the only way I could have been on tour. So the perks of the refereeing were giving me the travel money and the place to stay and things like that, which are huge expenses that I just didn't have to deal with, and it gave me the chance to come out here, and without that, I don't know where I'd be, to be honest. So, good pass by Rhonda. Oh, that's tough. Confidence stepping up there. I don't know who took that timeout. I guess it was probably Rhonda, considering she's down, but it was a good timeout. She's back in the box now. She needs to absolutely control the center court. As you can see, Paola doing a good job there. And control the rally right off the bat. Rhonda on defense the whole time. Good get, though.
You're correct, Charlie. As a top tour player and referee, you get to see a lot of racquetball, almost as much as me, Nick, and John Scott. And you could see how Paola is controlling center court and making the more athletic and a tremendous athlete in Rhonda Rajsich work harder for all of her points.
Yeah, well, Rhonda's the most important thing for Rhonda right off the bat, especially when she's serving and returning serve. It's a great shot. Is to, and just anybody, but especially when you're playing the #1 players, you need to get her on the run. And with the serve needs to be a serve that forces a defensive return from Paola. Unlike that, you see Paola already immediately in offense. Not a very good shot there, though. Oh, wow. Great soft hands there by Paola. Fantastic. Great effort by Rhonda, too, though.
People look at Paola, or if you haven't seen her before, you look at a petite young lady at, I think she's 22 now, but she could hit the ball. A little unorthodox swing, but she has great footwork, somewhat like the great Kane Wasalenchuk, who has tremendous footwork, and she hits the ball hard enough.
Screen serve there. Yeah, Paola is truly a professional in this game, on and off the court, and has handled almost the fame, the stardom of being the best in the world. She's handled extremely well.
And once again, she has Rhonda cleaning the court with a full layout dive, just to show you how diversified Paola's shots are, that Rhonda is not able to read it, and she's moving Rhonda in and out, left to right.
She's doing a good job of, I don't think she's skipped one since I've been in here. That pinch was left up a little bit. That's a great shot. Paola now the forehand. Rolls it. That's her shot, too. I think her pinches are probably the best part of her game. Deceptive, too. She's got kind of like a wrist flick. She just open up her swing.
She disguises it well.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know if and especially on this court where it's hard to see. But, yeah, just keeping the ball in play and keeping it back in the corners. Missed the serve there, and Rhonda capitalizing. Very important that Rhonda do that as well. And it's important that Rhonda force a weak return here. I don't really like the Z because Paola's stepping over pretty well and cutting it off almost every time. There she's leaving it off the back wall for a forehand setup on the defense immediately again, and then just rolls it.
Yeah, everything is going right for Paola only because she's playing well and has the answer for everything that Rhonda's doing so far at 8-1, game 1.
At this professional level, men and women that serve, the first serve, well, the women only have one serve, but in particular, that serve is extremely important to not only get in, but to make it a tough one. Tough shot there on the glass.
Speaking of that one-serve rule, the women still play with the one-serve rule, and I don't think there's been a short or a long serve yet this match, which shows you how sharp these women are.
There's Paola stepping over again and hitting a pass. See, I would go away from that Z if I were Rhonda. She hasn't obviously gotten any points off of it yet. 8 serving 1. Paola mixing it up between this drive to the backhand and the drive Z to the forehand. Rhonda chasing this one down. Look at that.
Textbook racquetball from Paola.
A
real good drive serve to the backhand, and then just control the rally with 2 other shots.
It's almost like she set that rally up. She didn't need to kill it on that first opportunity she had, but the third shot that she had in the rally made it look so easy.
It was like a video game. Or me playing John Scott, either.
Hey, you're talking to the U.S. Open charity doubles champion right here, right?
Yeah, I've only heard that 25 times over the last couple of days. He's still walking around with his medal.
All I have to say, guys, is that there's so far this year only been one champion crowned, and you're looking at him. Everybody else is coming from me.
Well, you're not actually looking at him. You're hearing him.
I stand corrected. Woody Klaus has joined me on the podium so far.
9-1 Longoria in the service box.
So how many IRT points does a charity doubles give you?
We're not playing for points. We're playing for posterity's sake and for the children of St. Jude's.
plus the buffet dinner that comes with that.
You know, Rhonda, just leaving it up a little too much, and you can't give second opportunities or third or fourth opportunities to Paola.
Rhonda actually controlled that rally from center court, but wound up not doing enough with it.
Yeah.
And Paola, even though one of the few rallies she didn't control, got one opportunity and killed it.
It's so funny that, you know, Paola being on the defense that whole rally and really just kind of flicking the ball, getting it, and then the one opportunity that she had, she put it away, and that should be unavoidable, absolutely. Ooh. Well, you know, I understand why he called that because she was out of the way, but Paola had no chance to set her feet for the shot until the end. I think the lines are going to return. Yeah, they overturned that call, and I understand why he called it, but because Rhonda was cleared, but like I said, Paola couldn't set her feet.
And here in the finals, the Women's Pro Tour has 2 line judges, and the 2 line judges overruled the referee, giving a point, end game point to Paola Longoria. And Rhonda says, not yet.
Yeah.
Want to keep this game going a little
Hopefully she
more.
can maybe get some good serves in, get a groove, run a few points, and get some momentum going in this next game. There's a good serve.
Well, she changed her serve, as Charlie said, but obviously it's probably going to be a little too late. But at 2-10, she'll give Paola something to think about. Goes back to that Z.
Yeah, it's a tough shot, but like I was saying, with the changing of the serve, you saw Paola take a step to the left and get aced on the right. So she's obviously jumping over that Z serve. And then when Rhonda hit that Z serve after the ace, Paola was a little less jumpy on it and like let it come back off the back wall. Hit a great shot. Rhonda barely missing it. That's a great serve. Now Paola with a setup in the back, skips it.
Good time for a mistake for Paola. Went for a little too much, but she's still up 10-2.
You know, Rhonda's going to come out of here and I have a feeling get a lot of really good advice from Coach Winterton. That's a good shot right there. Got to execute out here, for sure. 3-10.
Speaking of coaches, Paola's coach is in the back also, Francine Davis.
That's tough. That's a good serve, too. I mean, it's just she hasn't hit that serve at all yet today, and you can tell Paola's maybe a little bit on her heels receiving when she doesn't know where the serve is going. She's mixing it up again, up to the ceiling now. Rhonda swinging at that, going reverse. Let's see what the call is here. It's a good call.
That's a good call, that replay call.
Yep.
That wasn't a penalty hinder.
Yeah. It's a good hold.
But
it's
then
a good
again,
hold up.
on the men's tour, Charlie, doesn't the guy take that shot?
I was just thinking about it, and that was a very close one. They should take that shot, absolutely. But at the same time, from a swinger's standpoint, if you were to catch somebody on the backswing of a forehand, that could injure yourself. And they're not looking out for their opponent. You know, they don't really care if they give their opponent a racket to the hip or something. And that's game number 1. That's a good comeback. Couple points there by Rhonda, though, and she looks promising coming into game number 2.
And we'll be back here for game 2. Rhonda Rajsich, Paola Longoria, right here on the IRT Network.
Attendees and spectators of the 2012 UnitedHealthcare U.S. Open.
And we're back. That was a timeout, not a game-ending point by Paola Longoria at 10-4. Rajsich with an answer to the drive serve to the backhand. Rhonda back in the service box at 4-10.
Yeah, that was my fault. I thought the game was over.
4-10.
So did the crowd and everyone else.
Yeah, that was my fault, Russ. I thought that game was over.
Paola will do it once again at 10-4. Rhonda had her racket up. Paola didn't see it. Served. And it was called second serve, but I think the women only have one serve.
So I'm guessing Paola took that timeout then?
Yes, Paola took that timeout.
So there's game one.
That is game one.
I'm pretty sure of it this time.
And we will pause once again and be back for game two right here on the IRT network. And we are back here for game two between number one player in the world, Paola Longoria, number two player in the world, Rhonda Rajsich, in the women's finals here at the 2012 United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championships. Good confident swing by Rajsich. We are here in the Lifetime Fitness Center at the Target Center, downtown Minnesota. Rhonda switches to Z Charlie from the backhand to the forehand. Doesn't work.
You know, it's not even a matter of which 0-0.
Yeah, it's not even a matter of which serve she hits. She just has to execute it, and that one was off the back wall and just too easy for the champ. Good pass there. 0-0 is the score. Rhonda switching it up again, going a lob to the forehand. Now she'll have a setup off the back wall. It's a rollout. Good shot.
It's a good start for Rhonda. I think she'll play better with the lead.
You know, I think she's understood the concept of mixing the serves up, which is really important right now. And she's getting defensive returns out of Paola. Good lob there, too. There it is.
Two good serves, 2 good points to start out game two by Rhonda Rajsich.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying, execution, too. Both those serves were perfect and forced a ceiling ball from Paola.
Yeah. Paola hasn't been beaten in almost a year and a half. And that weighs on the shoulders of all the players that she plays. She's on an incredible hot streak.
Good get there, I guess. Back up to the ceiling. Paola with the fast feet to get back there. I mean, you could see, it was like a blur moving across the screen.
Paola with nice footwork and puts down that backhand.
I like this view from upper left that you guys have going on. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, if they put us any further back, we'd be on 5th Street. We'd be at Fogo de Chao if we were a couple of feet further back. One of the sponsors here of the U.S. Open.
It's a great shot by Rhonda, stepping up and not doing nothing special with the ball, but putting it at the feet of Paola and forcing a skip ball. We have 2-0 now.
Oh, they're looking for a little
Must be a wet spot of some sort.
wet spot on the court, calling the Tower Boy.
Yeah, this Tower Boy has been working for me this week, too. He's probably one of the best I've ever had. He's a great kid. Alex, really smart, too. Hustles, like you see there. And getting a lot of love from the crowd as well.
Rajsich at 2-0, game two. Down 1 game to Paola Longoria. Rajsich mixing up her serves really well here in game two.
It's off the back, though. I didn't like that open stance that Rhonda did. It was a little too relaxed, a little too, I guess, lazy would be the word there. I wish she would have taken that extra step with her left foot and squared up to that side wall to really put some power on that ball and put some pressure on Paola. She kind of just lunged over there almost like a squash shot, and there's a good shot right there.
Paola herself mixing up a serve, going to the lob instead of the drive. Hits the glass, comes off. Set up for Rajsich, 2-0 once again.
Good get. She's going to be jumping here. That's just athletic. So we have 3-0 now for Rhonda. Yeah, she's hit a different. She hasn't hit the same serve in a row yet this game. Good get again. Coming off, it goes out of the court.
That's a good observation, Charlie. She hasn't hit the same serve twice, which is what her coach, Jim Winterton, probably told her after Game 1 and Game 2. But even though Paola Longoria is down 3-0 this game, she's still controlling the rallies and making Rhonda run and dive a few times, which is Rhonda's game, but it still takes a lot of energy out of the actually older player of about 10 years. So, Rhonda's going to have to score some quick serve and shoot points to make up for the effort that she puts in on the other rallies. That's a good serve by Paola. Rhonda putting up a hand, thinking it's short.
She's going to appeal this,
and
too.
appeals it. Both lines judges agree with the referee, which ends any argument whatsoever. Another good drive served by Longoria.
Good shot.
Textbook racquetball. You could put that rally in a book.
So, Russ, have you seen really any strategy coming from either of the players yet? Obviously, Rhonda did not have a very good first game, and Paola did. So is there anything that you noticed from Paola that she is trying to do or picking on a certain side or certain shots she's hitting?
Yes. Fran Davis is our coach, and Fran Davis plays percentage racquetball all day long. And Paola Longoria, aside from that great shot that she just hit, she knows her game. Her strength is a drive serve to Rhonda's backhand or to any player, and that's what she's doing most of the time. But she will mix up her serve very professionally, 70, 80% to the backhand, then she'll throw a Z in or a jam or down the line, and just like she did there. Another good serve, forcing Rhonda up top. Set up off the back wall. Rhonda with another defensive shot. Actually, a good defensive shot. Longoria has to go up. And Paola controlling the rally once again.
Yep. I don't mind Rhonda's aggression from the backcourt there. She just missed her cross court. You're gonna and that's a tough shot from back there. It's a lot of distance to cover for your shot. You're hitting it from 38 feet, but you're also going cross court, so that adds some footage to the shot. And if you miss it even a little bit, that's going to Paola's forehand. And
that's what Paola wants. That's percentage Fran Davis racquetball.
Good shot there. Good footwork, good movement.
And that was a good serve by Paola. It just started scooting off the backside wall. Rhonda had the footwork to catch up to it. Finds herself in the service box at 3-4.
Do you think these ladies get fatigued as the match goes on? I mean, they're both in incredible shape. But have you ever seen fatigue be a factor between these two in particular?
No, I don't think fatigue gets in the way. They'll call timeouts sometimes to regroup, stop a run. And once in a while they might get a little tired because you just can't run a marathon at full speed. Every once in a while you have to just pace yourself a little. So they'll call a timeout more for coaching advice, strategy than they would for fatigue. Same thing with the men's game. I mean, the guys get tired too, but you learn how to play tired when you're a professional athlete.
So if you are still noticing, Rhonda has yet to hit the same serve twice in a row. She's not only mixing it up as far as the Z's and the high lobs and the nicks and the half lobs, which she's doing it on both sides. Now she goes back to the forehand. Misses that serve, though. Gets that good shot in the front court. Paola just set up, goes cross court, misses that.
Opportunity for Rhonda. She had, even though Paola worked her that shot, Rhonda wound up with a setup by the encroachment line and wound up skipping it. It wasn't that easy of a setup because it was by the glass, but opportunity for Rhonda to take a little lead. Paola back in the service box at 4-6. If you're wondering why you're not hearing John Scott's voice, those of you out there that are John Scott fans, is that he has laryngitis. So the prayers of his wife has finally come true. But John will be joining us later for a few comments as he's right now getting a throat massage.
Hi, Russ Menino. Actually, partially true. I was getting a throat massage. So I appreciate that. Russ has silky velvet hands. Monitoring the chat box, and also fans, just so you know, we have some archives popping up instantly right now.
Honestly, I don't think that they would, at like a tournament like this, I don't think they get out of the first round.
I agree.
That's just being brutally honest. There's obviously nothing taken away. I had a chance to practice with Paola earlier in the tournament. I was very impressed with just her movement ability and everything, but there definitely is that gap in really any sports, and this happens to be one of them.
So Linda Scales, you know, that's enough.
But thanks, Linda. We need Linda. We need people like Linda Scales to stir this kind of stuff up. Oh, man, that's just tough.
Just because Linda beat me in a 5-game tiebreaker over the summer, she actually thinks she's, you know, good.
6-6.
Linda actually has been improving quite a bit this year.
Yes, she has.
She's just a fun asset to the game of racquetball, considering her opinion and questions like that, you know.
She had a couple of good wins in the Open division earlier this week.
See Rhonda standing up a little too much on that forehand that she hit in the middle of the court. She had the whole court open, and she stood up and let Paola. And probably the most impressive thing right now is Paola. She has great hands and a great flick and can kill the ball from anywhere. And the reason she is able to do that is because she's able to set her feet for almost every shot, and it's her footwork that gets her into the position to kill every ball.
And her footwork gives her control of center court position most of the time, which will be an advantage for professional players as well as all the average players out there.
It's good block out by Rhonda there. She missed her reverse pinch that she was going for. It wasn't exactly the right shot, unless she would have rolled it out maybe. But I think the down the lines, both players
missed a shot.
Both players need to focus on the down the lines. That's racquetball 101, but especially on this court, down the lines are going to win you a lot of points out here.
As Rhonda ties it up at 7-all here in game 2, down 1 game to the #1 player in the world, Paola Longoria.
Yeah, Rhonda's doing a lot better job of keeping Paola in the back, and obviously with mixing up the serves, but here's Paola hit another shot from the back. And that's a good shot, you know, but either way, that's where Rhonda wants to be, is at least in control and making the champ beat her with good shots at least. So we have 7-7, game 2.
And Paola going to the half lob to the backhand, puts Rhonda back in backcourt and has a setup. And she actually didn't set her feet, Charlie, on that. She should facing the front wall, but wound up hitting the shot. One of the few times you don't see her with proper footwork, but still scored the point. She just had such an easy setup. 8-7.
Well, sometimes, and you'll see this a lot with Kane, and what Kane has taught me a lot is, you know, not only is he'll be in center court, but he'll position himself for a shot where it's even harder for you to approach the center, and he makes his swing so large, and it's like in his swing itself he's controlling the court. So I think that's a lot of what Paola did there. She kind of took a step back, not in this rally, but the rally before. She took a step back and gave herself a lot more distance between, or gave Rhonda a lot more distance between her and the ball, basically.
That was actually another good serve, diversifying her service repertoire. Rhonda did, but Paola just had the answer with a kill shot. But Rhonda is thinking really, really well this game. Finds herself down 8-7.
Oh, two really good backhands by Rhonda. Almost setting it up like a chess match. She went front right and then a pass down the left.
Paola got a little fancy on that flick with the forehand soft touch.
Short serve.
Rhonda
like her
trying that
mixing it
serve
up,
again,
but,
and I believe that's the first short serve of the match.
Well, from
maybe second.
Rhonda anyway.
One each, I think.
8-7.
Not a good time for it. It's never really a good time for a short serve. It's a tough shot. I don't know what Rhonda's asking for there. We're going to have an appeal, and she wants a short serve.
She calls it she encroachment. She left the box before the ball crossed the short.
Oh, no, it's a box, like leaving the box too early rule. I don't even know what the technical rule is for
A
that.
server encroachment, where the server leaves the box before the ball passes the short line.
You know, and it may have been the case, but that's just a call that the line judges aren't really going to be able to see or pay attention to. Maybe they will from now on. Good shot by Rhonda.
And Rhonda made the mistakes that she put her hand up, which is what you're supposed to do. But once the referee doesn't call it, you got to play that point because you can't just argue it.
Basically, she was just counting on that the line judges were going to overturn that, and that's not a good. You definitely should. Definitely should have gone for the win of the rally. It's a good serve there.
And with her experience, she should know. Routine pinch by Paola.
9-7.
Rhonda's doing a good job of mixing it up, but she's got to be careful that she doesn't start doing things that maybe are a little out of her comfort zone. And that last serve she hit, she kind of missed. That's a great get, though. She really needed that at 9-7 in the second game. Huge point.
A
or
good
a huge
serve
side
by
up.
Paola.
Yeah.
Return by Rhonda. And then an excellent kill shot.
There's Paola with the fast feed on the last two shots. She missed her pinch. She's not very happy with it. Neither is Rhonda. But
Paola's competitive showing up. You could tell she's ready to explode. She will stick to that lob nick just to play percentage racquetball up 9-7. Winds up half lobbing the serve. Getting a setup right in the middle of the court.
so
And I think they're
Rhonda-
going to play a wet ball on that, I think.
No, I think Rhonda carried it, actually.
Oh, she carried it? Okay.
She called it on herself, and she's getting some love from the crowd. So we don't have carries in pros. There's no such thing as a carry. So we never call it, and we've always played through. That's kind of so it's interesting to see that, and it's definitely interesting to see her call it on herself. We have game point number 2 here. Or game 2 point. Rhonda siding out, though.
7-10.
It'll be game point number 2 if she serves again.
Set up for Rhonda. She's got to start doing something. Good flick. See, take notes, people at home. On that last forehand, stood straight up and was facing the front wall, and
10-7.
must have been a little too eager to hit that shot.
Second game point for Paola Longoria.
There you go. Game number 2.
Great serve.
Around the wall. Now Paola's going to shoot this backhand cross court. Rhonda with a wide angle. Paola with the cross court. Rhonda's not there. Game number 2 for Paola Longoria.
And we will be right back here in 2 minutes for game 3. Rhonda Rajsich, Paola Longoria at the 2012 United Healthcare Open right here on the IRT network. And we are back for game 3. Rhonda Rajsich down 2-0 to the number 1 player in the world, Paola Longoria, here at the 2012 United Healthcare Racquetball Championships, the 17th annual U.S. Open here at the Lifetime Fitness Center inside the Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Beautiful controlled rally by Paola Longoria to start game 3. Charlie Pratt, what does Rhonda have to do to take a game from Paola Longoria and get back into this match?
Kind of what I've been saying. She has to execute her serve and her shots. Really, nothing else. It's like the beginning of the rally and the end of the rally are just so important out here, and she can't be making mental errors like poor footwork and open stance shots and skips and leaving the ball up with opportunities, because you're not going to get the same out of Paola. So it's about buckling down and basically playing the best racquetball you can get. And you have to make shots like that too. You got to go crazy and go for some rollouts sometimes.
Another good start by Rhonda. She mixed up her serves well in game 2, but wound up not winning it. But she shows she's sticking to her game plan and serve and shoot. Actually making the points shorter as opposed to longer rallies. It should be Rhonda's game plan, which she seems to have done.
You know, and if you look at the last game and a half, Rhonda came back from 10-1. Well, didn't come back, but she scored a few points to get herself to 4, and then she had a 6-4 lead. So, you know, she was on a 9-4 run at that point. So she was controlling a lot of the match. But Paola came back and had a run of her own and close out that second game. So, you know, Rhonda's still looking good in moments, but she needs to continue it, and that's a really tough thing to do mentally, and she's off to a great start right now.
And this is the same start she had in game 2. She was out to a quick lead, but Paola steadied herself, got used to the variety of serves that Rajsich was giving her, and wound up winning 11-7. This is the 4th consecutive United Healthcare U.S. Open and 9th straight time on the women's tour that Paola Longoria and Rhonda Rajsich have met in the finals. Paola went undefeated against Rhonda for the entire 11-12 season and is the defending 2-time U.S. Open champion. Rhonda has twice as many U.S. Open titles. She has 4 and is playing her 9th U.S. Open final in 13 appearances. While Paola is dominating the women's game, Rhonda remains focused to return to the #1 spot in the rankings. Rajsich was the last player to beat Longoria back in May of 2011. Best rally of the match so far. The crowd appreciates it. Rajsich showing her emotion by just missing that shot. Longoria in the service box at 2-3. Another good serve by Paola.
Yeah, she's really sticking to that. Oh, what a get. What a get. We're going to have a towel timeout here.
Great get by Rajsich with a little towel timeout.
And really special. I think this is maybe the 16th or 17th U.S. Open. I guess
this is the 17th.
Wow.
Also, there are 14 countries represented here, 658 participants, and $63,000 in prize money.
That's awesome.
But you didn't get too much of that, did you, this week, Charlie?
Well, thanks to the IRT network, they should make up for most of that. Yeah. Just kidding. Good serve there by Paola. That's tough. So if you see there, Rhonda doing such a better job of getting down low on that shot and squaring up to that side wall and then just like ripping it confidently. She needs to do that on majority of her shots.
Good serve by Rhonda, just that Paola had the answer. Good thinking, good idea.
Yeah.
She is really, really changing her serves around, which basically all of us out there should do. We kind of stick to the same serve on Wednesday Night League. You know, it's the same serve to the person's weakness. You got to move it around.
And it's not necessarily about somebody's strengths or weaknesses. It is, you know, percentage-wise, but if you can get your opponent moving or at least thinking in the backcourt, then you're doing a pretty good job. And at that point, forehand or backhand doesn't really matter as long as the serve is good and you're getting a defensive return. Three now, game number 3. Tough shot by Rhonda.
Rhonda once again looking good early, as she did in game 2.
That's not good right there. Little boast. Paola skipping that one.
That's unusual as she's talking to herself, going back to receive serve.
Rhonda getting away with one there. Did not hit a very good serve. And then, you know, Paola with a forehand.
Rhonda tries to serve again. It wasn't that good either, but got a weak return.
Skip ball there.
I thought that skipped, and it did.
We got a good rally here going. A lot of really good shots so far. Great get. Another good shot by Rhonda. She's going to shoot this. Another good shot. Not going to shoot this, though.
Excellent defensive ceiling ball by
that was a really
Longoria.
That was a good rally. Both players hit great shots. Rhonda with a lot of good perfect angles, and Paola just flicking it up to the ceiling and getting a fortunate ceiling ball, a very tough ceiling ball that Rhonda couldn't pick off the glass. Paola now shooting it from deep, and you can see there again the speed of her feet to be able to set. I mean, it's like I said, it's like a blur, you know. It's like very, very fast, and you got to watch very closely. But she's able to get back and set up, where most players are only, you know, getting back there to hit a ceiling ball, and that's just a huge advantage in a game of racquetball. Shoot that. Not a bad pass, forcing a weak return. Another good pass. Rhonda with a good switch of the footwork there. She slides back now. Tough rally.
Great rally by both players. They're both playing really hard, but Longoria just had that one extra shot with a short pass that came up from Rhonda, and Paola finds herself in a similar position as game 2 with a 6-4 lead. Timeout by Rajsich. We'll pause for a short break. Be right back. Back to the action here after a timeout by Rhonda Rajsich, which was actually added a few seconds because she asked for an injury timeout. She must have had a little tweak, talk to somebody outside the court, and she's ready to come back down 6-4 to Paola Longoria here in game 3. Also down 2 games to none.
Screen serve.
That'll be a screen serve given. Rhonda lifted up a hand. Referee agreed. Once again, following this match or at 12:30 Central Time, whatever comes last, we will have the men's finals. Number 2, Rocky Carson versus number 1 player in the world, Kane Wasylenchuk.
Good shot by Rhonda there. Oh my gosh. That was just beautiful to watch. You kind of just saw it going towards the corner, and you got to feel kind of sorry for Rhonda on that one. She had a really good shot, but hey, that's the champ right there.
That's athletic ability. You know, we say how athletic Rhonda is, and she is extremely athletic, long, lanky, gets to a lot of stuff, a lot of power. But Paola is equally as athletic.
They're almost polar opposites in their games. You know, like you were saying, Rhonda with the longer, lankier, and she dives a lot, and Paola just with the speed, so quick on her feet. That's tough right there. And you could see there, Rhonda hit a shot into Paola's body, and she made it look easy, but that is not an easy shot. Not only to be able to set up for, but to be able to kill that ball. And she could have done anything she wanted with it, and that's because of, and I keep saying it, but that's because of her footwork. It's tough by Rhonda. Not a very good serve. Again, Rhonda could have done anything she wanted with it, and she decided to roll it out. Rhonda's got to do some work here at 4-8. That serve's not going to do it.
Paola on the verge of closing this out with the lead. She really works her opponents, and she'll be working Rhonda just like she did the first 3 games, controlling center court. Mixes up her serve with an excellent Z to the forehand. And makes a mistake. She is human.
Yeah, a couple misses there for sure. Wasn't exactly the right shot she went for on that cross court that she skipped. I would have liked to see it down the line, but Rhonda back in the box now. Now with a setup in the backcourt. Right in the middle. Paola now with a setup forehand. Goes cross court. Rhonda's there. And that's,
once again, you could put a box in center court position with tape, and Paola hit 3 or 4 shots from that box, keeping Rhonda behind her, and was able to do whatever she wanted to do.
Yep, and if you watch closely, she almost cleared space with her racket and maybe an extra step too, and that causes Rhonda to be that much further back, and that pinch opens up that much more. Kill shot by Paola gives her a point now. We got 9-4. It is, it's a target center here. This is where the Timberwolves and the Lynx, the 2 basketball teams, the men's and women professional basketball teams, they practice here. We're actually using one of their gyms as the facility here for the court and the show court and everything. We're back after the timeout. 9 serving 4. Paola missing that forehand pretty bad. Rhonda fortunate to get that set up in the front court and executes it well. 4-9. Long. Wow.
Well, we haven't seen too many of those, and there's never a good time for it. Rhonda trying to make a comeback here, playing hard. Sails a serve long. Paola 2 points away from her third U.S. Open championship. Once again, the men's finals will follow this at 12:30 Central Time.
Great get by Paola. Good shot by Rhonda there. It's a good way to slide back on that one, you know, and pretty good reverse pinch. Paola nowhere in sight for that one. 4-9. She's got to do something here. It's a good serve. I don't think Paola's going to come up and cut that one off too often. Okay, Paola's appealing, and I think she knows she's going to get that appeal overturned. Was that a good shot?
That shot skipped. That shot skipped. One of the line judges agreed with the referee, and one didn't.
I saw that from
Sometimes
here.
it's your angle.
Yeah. Could be wrong, yeah. That's tough. You see Rhonda she was there. She was right on that shot. And when you're chasing a wide angle like that around, oftentimes that going back cross court is a good shot because your body is already turned and set up in that position to come back and really rip it. So you see Rhonda putting her racket up on her face.
That's a ridiculous shot by Paola.
Yeah, that was
overhead,
nice.
Flat rollout, kill shot in center court. Shows you how confident she is. She knows the women have to come up and step up their game to beat her. Rhonda making a nice little comeback, but it's 9-6 Longoria.
It's a good serve. Paola, great hands there. Rhonda's going to want to hinder. You know, I think she could have gotten to it, but I do not think she really saw it.
I think Rhonda thought that ball skipped because it just must have been a frame off of Paola's racket. Rhonda heard the sound, thought it skipped. Maybe could have gotten it, wanted to hinder, all of the above.
Yeah.
Match point
Either
to
way.
Longoria.
Championship point here. Good serve. We got to set up.
Goodbye. Great get by Rhonda.
Oh.
And Paola skips match point.
I think you might have jinxed her there, Russ. Yeah, what a get, though.
Listen,
seriously.
even you could have made that shot, Charlie. 6-10. Rhonda's,
for a U.S. Open
Rhonda's
title,
last chance.
I don't know if I would have. It's a good shot.
Rhonda might feel a little breath of fresh air, a couple of breaks. A break by Longoria. Rhonda has nothing to lose.
Yeah, 7-10 now.
7-10.
Nice get. It's going to be deep in the backcourt here. Paola going for that same shot, but missing it this time. You see her sliding over to the forehand. That actually opens up the court a little bit because Rhonda's got to take slight steps. She doesn't have to necessarily, but you know, you definitely don't want to get hit by one of those forehands. So it's oftentimes you'll see the player slide over to the right a little bit more and open up the court.
Good timeout by Paola. We'll be right back after a few commercials right here on the IRT network. Time is back. Rajsich back in the service box, scoring a quick point after a Paola Longoria timeout. Score is 9-10. Great comeback by Rhonda Rajsich after being down 10-6. 2 match points saved already.
You're kind of seeing. Avoidable call there. That's a pretty good call.
An avoidable
I gotta
call
say, that's a good
by
call.
the referee.
It's an approval by Charlie Pratt, so you know it's good.
You know it's a good call.
And that's
Rajsich tying it up. 4 points.
You're starting to see this aggression, and you know, I don't want to call it a desperation, but obviously it's now or never for Rhonda, and she's really playing like it and is feeling it. The crowd basically did the same thing I just did.
The crowd sympathetic to a forehand skip by Rajsich.
I mean, that was the easiest shot she had of all of them. Stood up a little too much and open stance and just had, literally, it was just too easy for her.
But credibly, she had scored 4 points in a row to put the pressure on Longoria. Now you have to win by 2, 10 apiece. Game 3.
Oh, yeah. And the crowd is definitely pulling for Rhonda, as you can see there. They want to see more racquetball. You know, obviously Paola has won here the last 2 years. And they'd love to see a new champion, and they know Rhonda's going to have to. That's a tough shot by Paola.
That's a clutch shot by the young lady, Paola Longoria.
Yeah.
Very good serve in the right-hand corner, 38-foot pinch shot.
So we have another timeout here, I guess. How many timeouts are they allowed in a game? Just one?
Women are allowed one.
Well, this is like the third one I've seen, so.
But I believe Rhonda has a cut on her leg, and this is considered an injury timeout instead of a regular timeout.
A medical timeout. We'll call that a medical timeout. So it wasn't necessarily an injury timeout that we were talking about earlier at 2-0 in the third game.
And the rule is on the women's tour that they have 15 minutes for an injury timeout that they can use any way they want. It's a total of 15 minutes.
That's nice. That's a lot of time. But yeah, it's obviously not an injury. It's just an open wound, and she got it all bandaged up, good to go. She's got some pretty good momentum anyway, scoring the last 4 points. Paola is in the box, so serving. She could get very interesting if Rhonda is able to pull this game out. She has some momentum. She has been actually playing quite well, but she wasn't able to close out the second game, even though she was point for point up until about 7-7. So it's 10-10 now. You got to win by 2. Rhonda going cross court. Paola with a touch shot. Rhonda asking for a hinder, and she gets it. You know, that's a tough call right there. And it's an appeal. I think they're going to agree. Yep, they did agree. And you know, she did trip over it. She went for it, but you know, if Rhonda would have rolled that, she would have said her left hand was bothering her, and that's why she put it up.
That's a good referee call.
It's a close one.
Confirmed by the two lines people.
Yeah.
Obviously, Paola didn't disagree, but I think she understands.
Yeah. I think she's just ready to focus down here. Rhonda. Oh! You don't get much more clutch than that. I mean, that was a flat rollout from 39 feet.
If you watch Rhonda, she bent her knees. She was down low. She committed to the shot.
Mm-hmm. It's like she's playing her best ball right now at this moment. And now we've got a lob Z going, and Paula's going to go up to the ceiling. I like that serve. Paula hasn't done really anything with it. Rhonda's going to shoot that down the line. Not a bad shot. She's going to have a setup off the back. Another down the line. I'm liking the down the lines. She's going to have a setup off, not off the back. Good get. Cross court. Oh, that's tough. You know, Rhonda really did not play a bad rally there.
Rhonda controlled that rally. It's just a soft touch on the backhand by Paola, who went for broke on that.
Yeah.
She skips that. She has game point against her. But for the third time in a row, it's 10-10. Longoria wisely going back to the drive serve.
Mm-hmm. Paola just kind of stayed over there on that left side for that cross court, and was thankful that Rhonda hit that. And that's a great pass. I mean, just so deceptive. And I like how she's mixing her shots up too. You know, the last winner she hit was a splat. She had a couple really good down the lines, and then she hit a cross court there. So she's obviously mixing it up very well. It's a good serve. Now she's going to shoot this splat, and it's actually working out. Good get. Didn't get it to the front wall, though. So we'll have a side out here.
Paola went down the line on that, Charlie, which is your favorite shot, and it wound up catching the wall right, and even though Rhonda dived, she wasn't able to get it.
Towelboy coming in here. Towelboy's name is Alex. He's been helping me out during the IRT matches as well. Longoria
calls a timeout here at 10-10. We'll pause for another brief commercial break right here on the IRT network.
It's a good timeout. And
we're back here at the 2012 United Healthcare U.S. Open. In Game 3, number 2 player in the world, Rhonda Rajsich, down 2-0 to Paola Longoria. Paola will be serving at 10-10 here in Game 3 for her third consecutive U.S. Open title. Rhonda Rajsich already owns 4, 2 best women's players in the world here, followed later by Rocky Carson and Kane Wasylenchuk in the men's finals.
Paola mixing her serve up. Hasn't done that serve in a while. Rhonda wanting to hinder. The ball was called down. I'm pretty sure Rhonda is going to appeal this, just considering the timing of the match.
Rhonda appeals the hinder call that she wants. Both lines people agree with the referee. Rhonda doesn't get the hinder and is faced with her first match point. They'll be cleaning the court off for a little while, but once again, following this match will be Rocky Carson, number 2 player in the world and former 2007 U.S. Open champion, versus Cain Wasylenchuk, the 4-time reigning number 1 player in the world and 7-time U.S. Open champion. Will be in the finals, and the finals presented by ProKennex here at the 2012 United Healthcare U.S. Open Racquetball Championships.
11 serving 10.
Match point, Paola Longoria.
Looks like she's going back to that Z serve, which got her the last point. Taking her time here. Rhonda the Great down the line. I love it. I want to see it. I really do. I don't know why anybody wouldn't.
10-11.
Excellent return by Rajsich down the line. Good serve forces Paola to the ceiling.
Not a good shot by Rhonda.
Good shot.
It's a good serve by Rhonda, though. It's she's stuck with that one a few times in a row, and I would continue to do so because she's getting ceiling balls. She missed that last shot, unfortunately. And
She should go to the drive serve, but she's not.
Yeah. So we're going to see another Z, it looks like. Rhonda stepping over.
And Rhonda skips it.
Paola, obviously happy. Congratulations to Paola Longoria.
As the crowd appreciates the effort by Rhonda Rajsich, Paola Longoria with her 3rd U.S. Open and consecutive title.